Scrolling through the internet in an effort to look at the inside of the shops through their web pages, I realized this approach was too limited in scope. I needed to go on site. Since Marcia had it, I knew it was somewhere in the city. But how close? Would she keep it in her home? Or were witches like the were-animals with a common home where she stored it? Josh was a witch, but because of his alliance with the were-animals, so many things about the witches were kept from him. He was a better resource about the magic than about the ins and outs of the creed. As I started out of the house to check out another shop, the sound of Josh's voice coming from the library caused me to make a U-turn. He was sitting at the large walnut table across from his brother. Each time I saw them together, the similarities and differences were always apparent. Both had stunning blue eyes. Josh's were clear, like a deep tropical ocean. Ethan's held a hint of gunmetal gray, constant reminder of the wolf that he shared his body with. They were both slim, Ethan a more muscular build, the benefits of not being wholly human, and his love affair with the gym. Josh's frame was a result of good genes and his daily runs with his brother. Modesty was an attribute that neither of them possessed, and I had seen both of them nude or partially naked more times than I could remember. Josh was usually in his boxers when I came to practice magic, and only after some encouragement would he get dressed. Ethan, like most were-animals, wore clothing because it was dictated by society and laws. If it were socially acceptable to be naked in public, nearly all of them would not have a problem with it. And it didn't hurt that most of them had bodies that were worth seeing in the nude. "Just the person I wanted to see. I was just about to come get you," Josh said as he pulled out a chair. I sat across from Ethan. Well, at least one of them was glad to see me. Josh plopped the cloister in front of me, opening them both to the first page. "Please start reading." "Read what?" "All of it. We need to translate it," he said. Each book had to be at least 200 pages. Then add the complexity of having to read one line from one book and then the next from the other. This was going to take days. Josh took out a recorder and a notepad and scribbled on it as I spoke. "Do you understand any of this?" I asked after he asked me to repeat certain words. Fumbling my way through each word was hard enough, but each time one of them leaned in close to the book, the words vanished. "It's Latin. I understand most of it, but the rest we will figure out later." Who was the we, I wondered, because I couldn't help. As I continued to read, I tried to ignore Ethan, whose eyes remained on me. Each time I finished a spell, I asked Josh what it was for. Every explanation was a guess, because each line held just a minuscule amount of information. Whoever created these books was as cryptic as possible. As I read one line, Ethan leaned forward, listening attentively. I knew bestia meant beast. Another word caught my attention. "What is repiso?" I asked. "Rest," they responded in unison. "The beast will lay to rest," I whispered. But we didn't know what the other part was. It could very well say that when it awoke, it lived happily ever after. Several pages later, another line seemed to capture Josh's attention. Magia rescit. Magic will wither. Josh paled as I read the line. Afterward, he wanted to take a break and left for a while, returning with 3 cups of coffee.